something we all understand, the revolution will be televised.
Yes, today, as we start the show, this one mic. Yes, today, as we start the show, this one mic.
Chi-Town Hammers. Chi-Town Hammers. People have slept on. I only get political here about Will.
He's playing the game. That's all it is. Go hard for it. Look at his business.
Yes, today.
Yes, today, as we start this show, this one mic. Woo, woo, woo. We in the house. We all have a breaking point. We about to talk about that. That's one of the things, we know in sports. We all have a breaking point. We saw Woody Hayes. Woody Hayes had a breaking point. Like, we all had that moment. I was in the house when, Floyd and Jab Zuda did all that stuff, and all of a sudden the Thomas and Mack stuff broke out. We all have a breaking point. I'm just going to be real with it. And we saw it on the Oscars. So we'll get into that in a minute, but I got to first say, hey, welcome to One Mic, Real Sports Guys. Go to rsg.com. Check out the content. We're trying to get our act together over there. You can catch us on social media. You can catch these two gentlemen on social media. You get their game as well. We are just trying to, we little engineer could. But let me bring my co-host into the building, the folks who feed my soul each week as we talk about this stuff and have a good time. We got my man from Chi-Town, Chi-Town's only. The man out here who understands when it's time to battle, we're going to battle. So he understands that coming from Chi Village. What's up, Hammer?
Doing fine. How you doing, brother?
Doing well, man. It's just good to be here. These nights feed my soul, brother. It's just sometimes you just need that outlet. You need to. I'm realizing how much it's important to be around. You know what I'm saying?
Especially this craziness in Chicago. I
understand all that. All of that. We understand all of that. And then we got my man, the youngin', man. This is my guy who's trying to, he's at all the coaching clinics. He's just trying to soak up everything he can. He's everywhere. And then he's also on these airs. He's talking boxing, he's doing everything else. I'm going to call him Mr. Allsport in a minute. What's up? How you doing, youngin'?
I'm good. Yes. Over the weekend, I was at University of Michigan at the coach's clinic. Got a chance to come watch practice. Sit down, talk to Jack Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, Sharon Moore, a few guys, and it was a fun experience. And thanks for having us out.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's really great about the coaching community that people fail to realize is just how accessible people are. You think about there's a lot of professions where it's just hard for you to access some of the best in the game. But in coaching, it's crazy how, I think you're learning this too, as well, Darnell, is how accessible they are and how willing they are to share, right? You're trying to get your career up and going, and you're sitting next to Jack Harbaugh, and that's, there's a lot of careers with that you just don't have that option to be able to have access to it. So I'm glad you are taking advantage of it and doing your thing. Hey, this is One Mic. We're going to hit some topics here in the open mic. We're going to get into the Cipher, get deep into, our theme of the night, the breaking point. We'll get to that, building off of what we all saw at the Oscars. If you haven't, you've been sleeping. And we'll talk about that. But there's a lot more happening in the world of sports. And so, I want to make sure I thank our sponsors who've been with us from the Maui Invitational in Vegas. They've been running with us all the way through the RSG Tourney Challenge, of which Hammer is coming back to try to save the day on us. The brother, we prayed for something. We did it because it looked like the RSG was just wilted. And with all the
they don't work out, bro. They don't work out. UCLA losing.
Oh,
gosh, I would have won if UCLA and North Carolina still apart. Yeah, I'm up there. I'm up there.
You're still up there, but we always want to celebrate. We want to be able to give it away. We still gonna get you your belt though from last year. The pandemic, the pandemic, did us wrong. But I've been working with my production person, and we gonna get you. We gonna get your belt to you. So we don't worry. We gonna get that to you because you deserve to have that. You try to hold down the fort this year. But we want to thank our folks from Bowman Medical Group and Mind Mass Development, who just been supportive all the way through this and making things happen for us. So we appreciate y'all. All right, we're gonna get into the open mic. A lot going on with the open mic. We got a lot of interesting stuff happening. But we want to start a little bit with what's on your back page. We haven't done this in a while, but this is an opportunity. Sometimes, you don't want to get in a rundown. Things just come to your mind. We just want to create a space for our guys to, that thing that's kind of you just been watching, you've been paying attention to, that you just want to share with the folks that we can discuss a little bit. That's out there. Darnell, you got anything that you kind of in the sports world that's kind of been just you've been tracking or just paying attention to?
Yeah, Devin Haney,
Oh
and
yeah.
Cam Bowles. It's gonna happen. And what we didn't know was what was holding it up was they was hitting Devin Haney with the okie doke. And what Lou DiBella was trying to do, because I was telling you guys about this a few months ago. Lou DiBella, who's the promoter of George Kambosos, he's a man without a country. We were talking about being we had this discussion on the boxing moment about fighters being independent and trying to take from Jake Paul's model of being able to take your services to whatever place that you want to. But not, and I said in this game of boxing, there's a lot of politics, and that's what happened. Um Lou DiBella, he was trying to shop around for a network deal, and that's what ended up happening. We saw that with the Haiti fight because I don't know, it hasn't been officially announced yet, but what the word is that they're both signing a multi-fight deal with ESPN and Top Rank. So both sides got their missions accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Lou DiBella has his fighter. Now, he has a network deal with ESPN. And personally, I believe for Devin Haney's career and for boxing as a whole, it's better for the sport for this fight to be on ESPN than to be on the Zone, because casual fans don't watch the Zone. My Uncle John not gonna watch it if it's on the Zone.
Yeah,
I mean, he might go through the channel and be like, "Oh, this is that Haney guy that Darnell was talking about."
that's right.
He's not gonna watch. Casual fans don't watch the Zone, but that's beside the point. But that's besides the point. But this is why I was telling you guys earlier about the independent model might not always work, because a lot of times, to really achieve in this sport, with the politics, you're just gonna have to different promoters and different sides of the street. They're gonna want a piece of you and a piece of your career for for a significant period of time, and we don't really know. I don't know how many fights Devin Haney is going to be contractually obligated to fight on ESPN, but we've seen in the past where these top ranked contracts have been hard to get out of. So we don't know how long he's going to be there, and or if he'll ever have his. Well, he'll have his agency back at some point, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. But I believe this is a big move for boxing. We're going to get an undisputed fight at the lightweight division, and the belts are going to be coming back home to America, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, what I appreciate about it, and what I'm saying being independent, is having a little bit of control, and what you might end up doing is doing your LeBron deal. So I think you're right. We got to know what the details of the deal. But if I'm agreeing to 3 fights with you, and I've negotiated my percentages in different ways, because I'm bringing something to the table, right? Devin Haney's bringing a followership to the table. They're bringing something to the table, and they're bringing a valuable asset of a unified fight to the table. It brings that you got a little bit more leverage in that space in terms of who got control. Obviously Top Ranking them going to get the money they want to get, but you're going to get your money as well, and the way in which in the number of fights you can do. So it's like, okay, I got 3 fights with you. That's cool. That's like a LeBron, 1 year or 2 year, 1 year with an option, right? And that's what I'm talking about, where you can kind of leverage it through it. So yeah, I don't think you can totally escape the politics. But if you can dictate a little bit more piece of the pie, and a little bit more, even how they might decide on what the buyout clause is. You might have a little bit more control in that. all those little elements, I think, make a difference. But you're right. I mean, this boxing's got so many problems; it's eating up itself. But I think everything you said about it being on ESPN, because if you're going to be any place in terms of broadband appeal and connecting with the casual fan, ESPN is it, because somebody gonna flip through and run into it, right? You're right, and and ESPN just got to use some of their normal platforms a little bit better. They got to use First Take. They got to use, obviously got Max on boxing, but there's other places they got to use to promote in ways that I don't think they've maximized to bring the casual fan into those spaces. But yeah, I think this is good. This is good for boxing.
Oh, another note that kind of ties in with that, but it seems that Javante Davis, his contract with Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions is up because he put on Twitter that the only reason that they got him fighting this bum Rolly Romero is because his contract is about to be up with Mayweather Promotions. They want to keep everything in house, that kind of thing. And all the suitors are going to be open. They're all going to be placing their bids for Tank when he hits free agency, and maybe Top Rank will be one of the highest suitors because look at that 135, 140 division. A lot of those guys are on that promotional company. Now you have Devin Haney over there.
Yeah.
Shakur is going to be moving up at some point. You know what I'm saying? They got Teofimo Lopez on that side.
Yeah.
Josh Taylor's on that side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fights that could be made on that side of the street. Lomachenko's on that side. So I'm gonna look at.
Yeah, it sounds like we got to do another boxing moment here soon. I get my act together. I know you stay ready. So I feel like we got to have another conversation on that side. But you stay ready. Hammer, what's up? What's been going in the world of sports for you?
I just say Coach K, the legacy. I'm not a big fan, but it is a great story. Let's just be real that he could go out on top. I mean, the Vegas odds are he's going to do it, and they look great. I mean, I'm stunned because they got blown out by Carolina. They lost in AC final to Virginia Tech team. Not crazy about, but the bottom line is that they've really put together Benchero and Mark Williams, a tremendous defensive player, rebounder. AJ Griffin's really shown why he's going to be a top pick. Wendell Moore Jr. is tremendous. And then the brother Roach is finally playing like he was supposed to play last year. Some nice depth with Keels, and I mean they got a really good ball club. And they're hitting all strides and all at the right time, and really impressed. Just they went through adversity, and Coach K is coaching it up. But like his last, it basically is his last, unless he pulls a Tom Brady, which I doubt he'll do. So. It's great to see it, even though I'm not a Duke fan, but it's good to see, like I said, this is a club that didn't have the Zions or RJ Barretts. They got no players going to be really good pros, but not the flashy players that they've had in the past. That Elton Brand's of the world, the people that really made the Duke brand. But these are players. They're just a really good fluid team together. Unsung, but very skilled, and I'm very impressed with just how they've done. Yeah, so
I think one of the things I've always said was great about Coach K is his ability to let players fight through stuff, and because of the way he does that in these big moments, they find their way to success. It's like I always tell the story. When he came to Kohl Center, it was clear Bo Ryan was going, because you got the on the road Coach K, like he getting home calls in other people's arenas, and Bo Ryan just wasn't having it. But watching that game, the way Jones and some of these young cats played in that game, and he just let them fight through it in a hostile environment in the Kohl Center. He was doing it early in that season, and the way it paid dividends late. As they made their run to the chip, was interesting. And I see the same thing with this group. You could see they had a moment where they just had to fight, and he just knows how to let them go do that. And that's a lost art. We got so many coaches who want to manage every possession, every situation, over-coach. There are times where you just got to let young people find themselves. I remember, there are some coaches. One of the things I want to talk about. One of my big things is watching, the women's tournament. I think there's just some great stuff happening out. But you'll see this a lot more sometimes, even in the women's tournament. Sometimes with these teams coaches who are like control, they like straight line drivers. But in the game, it's those players who can just innovate, who can get in a moment, and you gotta get them ready for that moment. And Coach K does that very well. I think Izzo had done it over the years. We played those tough schedules and kind of let people grow, and didn't over prescribe, right? So that's something I think is a lost art, in a way, but that I'm going to miss. And this is going to be a great Final Four, man. I think this is going to be a battle. I don't emotionally have one way or another. I think I had a certain feeling at the beginning of the year. It'd be nice for him, but Hubert Davis and what he's done and what he's
I don't
grown.
like Carolina. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like Carolina. Shit,
I mean, them cats.
Only brother. I want Carolina all day.
He looking for guys who want to fight, who want to fight, and them cats are battling. And you see where they were maybe a month
and
ago.
all, they battling. Yeah, they battling. Yeah.
They battling. So, but yeah, for me, it's just like, this women's tournament is exciting. That UConn NC State game, and thinking about a legend. And you think about what's happening at UConn and Gino. I mean, if he gets to the finals, he's almost good, 11-0. But there's some ballers. I mean, one of the things I've been saying is that the women's game is kind of where men's basketball was when, as you start to see the Big East come on the scene and you start to see different kind of people emerge other than those typical blue bloods, you start to see that in the women's game with some of the teams who are becoming, household names. Where you see them with like NC State and some of these programs who are beginning to do it year after year. But now, in the finals, you got Stanford and Connecticut. You got South Carolina down there doing their thing, and you got Louisville is just kind of Louisville, as they say. They got some ballers. Their superstar. She quoted Kobe like Kobe. She's like, what was Kobe like? Beep beep beep. She you can see the influence of Kobe even after this. And that Final Four is going to be something else. And so I'm excited about what's happening there and seeing what things are going in that Final Four. I kind of been having two TVs. I kind of got both tournaments on and been watching what's been happening with the ladies. We do that ladies first thing over here. But yeah, we'll keep. It's good to know what's happening with y'all in terms of y'all office. Kind of. Hammer got in the Final Four is set. It's obvious. Final Four set. We got to talk about one shining moment. Hammer, I know you just talked about Hubert. You think North Carolina will give you that one shining moment? Why do you think that? And I got some reasons why.
No, I'm cheering for you. I think Duke's gonna win it. Yeah. I mean, I think the team the sleeper is Villanova because they shoot the free throws so well. That's gonna be a key thing, and also the kid, what's his name?
Colin Gillespie.
Yeah, Colin Gillespie. Yeah, thank you. That kid is something special. So he just.
So why do you think Duke? I think Duke has played well, but not well enough for people to say Duke just gonna win it. Like, what makes you think they just gonna win? I think Kansas played well out of all four.
Duke have the best player in the tournament. And,
do you think so?
We only got 2 players. We only got 2 games left. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I think Babcock or whatever the kid from Carolina is double.
Who left is better than Banchero?
Babcock ain't like
when Banchero. When it comes down to it, Banchero is the best.
Yeah, thank you. Banchero is the best player. And
then now he ain't shown up in every game. Now,
but the thing about too that look at how I love their pro style type lineup because they got the 2 bigs that I love now. I'm tired of this, these I call them fall fours, these 6'5" guys playing for. I don't want that mess. They got the nice old school thing that I like. They got Mark Williams, old school center, rim protector. Gets the garbage baskets. You got Banchero he handles the ball so well. Really good rebounder. Good. I mean, just all around great player. AJ Griffin's real special from the 3-point line, really solid. Wendell Moore, great handle as well as size. Roach. I mean, they just got they got. I mean, they just have the best lineup period, and it's going to be where they fit so well together. And just like I said, I didn't see this. I saw so much inconsistency that the year, especially got blown out by Carolina. But now I'm seeing it come together. I'm seeing them really gel as a team. You're right, because Coach K had them work through the ups and downs, and Ventura is best player in the tournament right now, definitely top 3 pick. Backhot, balling, but he's not as skilled as Ventura. Not skilled as Ventura. No.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm co-signing that quickly for them. I think it's a great matchup for North Carolina, but I mean, when I'm looking at Kansas, I'm like, as much as they on my can't trust it list, as much as I can say that, they on my can't trust list. They got Remy, they got a squad. They got McCormick.
Yeah, Remy's up and he's playing well now, but Remy been up and down.
They loaded all the way down the lineup. They can match up with anything you got.
Kansas was my original squad, but I don't know because
McCormick's inconsistent too.
McCormick can ball, but then
if Villanova playing Duke, who you taking? Villanova on you like junkyard dogs. It's like Jay Wright said, you got to first survive North Philly Parks before you come to practice. That's how he brought him in. Like he's like, you could tell it's like these cats. He wouldn't even let them in the gym until they figured out how to win 3 games in the roughest parks in Philly. It's like they got I think Duke is great, but I ain't putting them right above all these folks. I ain't co-signing on that one. Y'all got to give me a little bit more than that.
That player, Villanova lost. What's his name? Moore.
Yeah, they do got a bad injury.
Yeah, he got a bad injury. Yeah, but still though, the free throw. Don't sleep with the free throws. If you shooting 83% and the game's close, it's gonna be something else. I mean, you in it. But I just think, like I said again, it's gonna be a great Final Four. You look at Villanova, Kansas. I mean, blue bloods, truly blue through and through. And like I said, the rematch of Duke, NC, gonna be a battle. But like I said, Backhot's played well, but he's not fluid like Ventura. He's not fluid like these players. I saw just a skill set that. They gel together. I mean, you knew all these guys. That you look.
But to me, it's not about fluid. It's like his impact on the game. Like his impact on the game. Like he's got records on double doubles. He's controlling the game like a dog.
Baycott's a great player, but at the same time, I don't know if he's necessarily the X factor. And we talked about North Carolina, because North Carolina has a lot of other pieces. Well, they have 2 guards that can really put the ball.
RJ Davis.
But I think what he does is take away. He takes away second shots. He takes away what's in the middle, right? What I think is he's a kryptonite.
I'm not done. Never mind.
Go ahead. Go say what you're gonna say.
You have Caleb Love and you have RJ, the 2 guards that can score. When they get hot, it's gonna be tough to stop. But also you have that stretch big. When Brady, I forgot his last name.
Manic.
Brady Manic, he got ejected in one of the earlier games, but
they almost lost the game.
Yeah, but he is. I think to me, he's the X factor. Brady Manic is the X factor because he's gonna bring you a big. Whoever's guarding him is gonna, he's gonna take them away from the rim, and you got some decisions to make. Who are you gonna put on him? Who are you gonna put? And I think. This is why I think Duke is the best team to match up with us, because I think they have more answers than the other teams, because they can still keep Mark Williams in the paint, because they can match Mark Williams with a Baycott and still have a Banchero or AJ Griffin to throw at Brady Manic. And if you look at the other teams, well, Villanova has bodies as well that they can do that they can do that with, but I see that possibly being a problem for Kansas, or who's the other team? No, that's it. That's it. Kansas, Villanova, Duke. I think that could be a problem there. So I think North Carolina does have a pretty complete team. So it's going to be it's tough to see. It's tough to say who's going to be I don't think there is an overwhelming favorite, but a lot of people are going to say Duke because, just like I said, they have a guy that is perceived to be the best player left in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think that this what happened in the handshake line. They try to dish your boy Hubert. I think Hubert coming in there. He gonna have them dogs. It's gonna be good. I like you're right. I think you're right. It's a close tournament. It's good. I like everything you say is right. My gut is they don't messed up. That handshake line and all that stuff. All that stuff is gonna be part of it. And this is the bitter rivalry. And they want to really put it on Duke. It's gonna be a good game. I'm glad we got it. We will definitely be able to reflect on it when we get together next week. It's gonna be a good one. Y'all are obviously probably doing better than me, so I ain't gonna say much more after that. I think I've said enough. So I'm
Hey,
trying to
who would you
get my
pick, man?
credibility
So
back.
who would you pick? I mean, I'm like, who would
At
you
this
pick?
point,
You knowledgeable.
at
You
this
picking a
point, I
lot
had
of
to
upsets.
Hammer. At this point, I have to wave the white flag, brother. I'm just saying.
Man, bro,
I'm
you'll
just
be
waiting.
back next year, man. Ain't nothing
Yeah,
to see.
I'm
all
I
had our bad tournaments.
apologize.
We all had our bad tournaments, man. I mean, I just sat down and did some matchups, like I said, then just I'm a sheet integrity type guy. I don't use different sheets. I'd use the same sheet, and I'm like top 3 in all the pools I'm in. But yeah.
Yeah, that's normally what I did. And I think I did. I just didn't take the kind of time because it was so crazy. I just didn't take the kind of time trying to get everything set up and running. My planning kind of plan for next week, how I plan and my onboarding for this is going to be a little bit different so I can really get my head right. So I can talk this junk like I want to. So I will correct that because I'm not going to be where I was this year. So we will correct that. All right, we're going to get into the Cipher, y'all. Man, we all have a breaking point, and we're not gonna get too deep into what happened and why. We're just not gonna do all that, But we had those moments, and we've seen those moments in the world of sports. And man, when I saw what happened at the Oscars, because I was preparing for this moment because I was like, I had just had a discussion with my partner about, just the way in which the Oscars treats, particularly people of color and black folks. And I was just, I've been watching whatever that one Alley movie. I almost fell asleep. I'm like, this is an Oscar nominated movie. It's like, Nightmare Alley. I mean, it was a nightmare for me for the first 3 minutes. I'm like, this is why black folks in the barbershop don't like to watch the Oscars because we nominate this. And so, I was just like hopeful for Will, and the whole night we had Will Packer. So it was a night and things happened, but it was just something that reminds us that you can only poke the bear so long before people react. And we can get into how it may look. I'm not going to get into much of that, but it got me thinking, what kind of bears are we poking in the world of sports? If we were at the ESPYs, Chris Rock been on stage there, a whole bunch of comedians been on stage. The Jamie Foxx with Serena Williams and the tennis ball was a classic. That wasn't really a rib, but the ESPYs, people love to do that. But there could be a moment in the ESPYs where somebody get plugged, and I was like, who would be that person who would react in the world of sports? And so I thought we take our flip to this. If it were the ESPYs, who might come out here? And so I'll probably start with you, Hammer. If we were having an ESPY moment, if something was happening, who would you think do it that people might not think about?
That might not think about?
Yeah, or people that you would see in the ESPY. Maybe not think about, but who you think might be if it was Chris Rock doing his thing in the sports world, who you think might walk up there just because they've had enough?
Man, we already seeing Myles Garrett. Shoot, man, please. There's a guy that almost ruined his career. Now all of a sudden people don't remember it, but man, that was a crazy night. I was in a sports bar in Madison, never forget. I saw a dude fight. I was just like, this dude ruined his career. Or with Mason Rudolph and Mason Rudolph lying, talking about somebody called the N-word. Like they said the N-word, man, you would have been knocked out. It would have been no, but yeah, it was just crazy. That scene was nuts, and they wanted to, criminal charges and all the craziness, and you saw Myles Garrett basically like, man, yeah, and look at him now. He got beyond it, was contrite. Now he's, back to where he was projected as number one pick. But yeah, Miles is showing a mean streak to him, man. He cut up. So yeah.
So I got one, and I'm gonna go to Youngin. I got one that I think it might fit into this one. Could be because of how people perceive and think he is. Steph Curry. Steph has the same road as Will. People just think this is a nice guy, come from these type of privileged backgrounds. Everybody trying to take shots at him. Want to take shots at his relationship. You'd never think he would do something like this. Could it be Steph Curry? So I just thought, now that's a reach. That's an even farther reach, but we would have never thought Will Smith would have done
with
that.
his parents, with the stuff with his parents right now.
Yeah,
he definitely thinking about brand. The Curry brand. I mean, as far as the nice family has been just ruined. I mean that thing with his parents, that's ugly. That's really ugly.
So if Chris came on there and said something about the parents or pushed the button, who knows? Would Steph do it? All right, Youngin, who you got over there? I know who you gonna say.
Antonio Brown.
You wouldn't let him in the party, so I was gonna say that, but they wouldn't let him in.
It's Antonio Brown because the biggest factor in here is who here is gonna stand on. First of all, who in their mind is financially free? Not really financially free, but free from a point and perspective of they really don't care what happens next. And I think Antonio Brown's that guy who says, you know what, I can get cut and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't let me back in the league, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stand on my principle right now.
He wants to be back in the league. So all the reports he's trying to beg to get back in the league. So I disagree with you on that.
Well, he's
shown that he.
Yes. I mean, you hit it right. He more than Kanye. Yeah. All you had to do was make it till Tuesday when you were at the Raiders and got more money. He could make it till Tuesday. So I think I might be in Youngin's camp on that. The other person they wouldn't let
him in the building now. That's not crazy. They wouldn't let him in the building now. So
the other person.
Are we going to actually talk about the situation, or are we going to?
Yeah, I wanted to get into it, but let's get into it. I was kind of set the tone because I didn't want to start there, but I'll get back to it. All right, All right, Youngin. Youngin, I'll let you get into it. So we obviously know, Will Smith, reacting to something that in it, there's a history. Reacting to something that Chris Rock said. When Chris Rock said it, I felt it was a bad move because you immediately could see Jada, and Jada wasn't smiling. And Chris even tried to recover even before Will got up. So he knew. This is the lesson I always tell people about time and place. Sometimes it's not the time or the place. Like you got to know that there's not the time and the place. And that was clearly, it was one of those moments where there was a whole bunch of people you could have talked about in the room. That wasn't the one to do it. And you could tell it landed on the dud. And then when Will walked up, at first I thought maybe this is a joke. But then he walked back with the stride. He had the West Philly stride. I was like, no, that's not a joke. That he was serious. And then the little exchange. So I was thrown off in a number of ways. And now people are reacting in all kinds of ways they can react. But man, it was a painful thing because on a night where really GenX Hip Hop was doing its thing. Like, and it had been building. Like, the moment's crazy, and I'll let y'all comment. The moment, so you got to think about the moment. You got Chris Rock, who is, when you're talking about GenX Hip Hop and around movies and culture from New Jack City, comedians and that space and everything he meant in there. You got Will Smith, and we all know what he means in that. You got Questlove winning. You got Puff coming up, right? So think about the run just in that little clip for GenX Hip Hop. Like, it was so many moments in there beyond all the other moments, that were part of it that I was like just taking it all in, like, wow. Like, for the whole night, I was like, man, I couldn't even get my head around it. So yeah, y'all saw it. So let me start with you, Young, and I'd love to have your perspective get the generational perspective and in terms of how you reacted and what you thought when you saw it.
First of all, I didn't see it live.
Okay.
I don't watch the Grammys.
I didn't see it live either.
I didn't watch the. I don't watch the Grammys. I don't watch the Oscars.
Thank you. That mess.
This is the first time I decided to watch it live.
I'm a musician
in a while. Yes.
I'm a musician that has not watched the Grammys since 2013, because I've had friends perform at the Grammys. I didn't watch the Grammys. I watched their performance on Facebook. I've had friends who's had their work nominated for a Grammy, and I have not.
Who?
Since
that's right. Who? Some major producers? Who?
No, some producers that have had their work.
I figured that.
Have their work nominated for the Grammys. I have not watched the Grammys.
I like those shows at all, man.
I'm a big proponent of go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. On Sunday, Samuel L. Jackson received his first Oscar.
Yeah.
Ever. And we're talking about the guy that gave us Coach Carter. And he never had an Oscar. And last year, Nas got his first album. He got his first Grammy for the best album.
Really?
Yeah, he got his first. He got his first Grammy.
Yeah, Grammys from wow. Well, that's traps.
Illmatic never got a Grammy. Stillmatic never got a Grammy.
That's why I don't watch it.
I don't watch Grammys.
It's a bunch of mess.
Speaking of the actual moment in time, as far as the Will Smith slap, some people. This is my perspective on it. Would I've done it in that moment? Probably not. But at the same time, I'm not gonna tell another man how to protect his family. And I'm gonna tell another man how to protect his family. And to be honest with you, I know the time and place. It wasn't the time, wasn't the place. But at the same time, there's some people,
my time and place was a joke. My time and place statement was about the joke.
What I'm saying is, there's a principle. Like I'm a family man myself. I don't have a wife and kids at this point, but I understand that when it comes to certain people, there's certain rules where that doesn't necessarily apply. Like personally, I'll go to jail for my dad. I'll go to jail for my mom. I'll go to jail for, my sister, my immediate family, my grandmother, stuff like that. You disrespect my grandmother at church, there's gonna be furniture movement at church. You know what I'm saying? The time and the place doesn't really matter when it comes to certain people. There's such thing as a crime of passion for a reason, and that's what I say. And there's some guys that they stand on principle. I know it's rare to see in 2022, but some people still stand on principle.
So my comment about Steinman Place was the joke, not necessarily the reaction.
Yeah,
the reaction.
I understand what you were saying, but
yeah,
I know
the reaction.
From a lot of people.
That's the risk you take when you take a joke, and we all know that. So that's the risk you take, is how people gonna take it, and I think we surprised by the reaction because it being Will Smith. Because he's the often a recipient of sometimes jokes in those places, but that's the various reason he was reacting at that moment. And so it's a lot of people are reacting about violence that should not be tolerated. There's a lot of good reasons to be looking at this stuff. I was just heartbroken on two brothers in that moment. Like that's not what we wanted. But all that stuff around it, like all the things you said, youngin, is part of it. And so I'm with it. I was just like, why did we have to have that moment in a time when you had an entire black production?
Yeah,
that's it.
Mm-hmm. But that goes to the second part of it, because you talked about how people have been reacting to it, and you've seen like people on Twitter just been taking it way farther than it really is.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this one lady, I forgot her name, but I guess she's in Hollywood. She said, "Oh, that slap, he could have killed Chris Rock." I went, "Oh my god, y'all think he's gonna drop dead after getting slapped in the face?" But okay,
yeah. The only thing I would have told, now the part about this that was amazing. I'm gonna get to you, Hammer. The part about this was amazing that people aren't getting enough credit is Chris still had a job to do up there, right? And most people would have done exactly. The reaction would have been more furniture moving, like Jimmy Snooker dive off the stage, It'd have been a stage dive even after you got it. Like, this cat just hit me. Like, when we go to commercial, it's gonna be some this security, but he still had a job to do, and he did it. I didn't know how he composed himself to do it, and remembered he still had a job to do. Like, that right there took something. Like, that took something in him to be able to do that, because many people couldn't have continued in that space. There would have been this thing inside you that said, I just got hit and something got to go. Somebody got to die right now. I don't know who, but I got to go. And the fact that he was able to still deliver it had me just like, I don't know how he held his composure in that space. But Will is 6'2". People forget Will's 6'2". So you know, you know, he bringing something with it. He ain't just coming. All right, Hammer. Our our voice of I don't even know it. I know you. I can feel you. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say, brother. It's a debacle.
No, it just really I didn't see it live, but it's really disappointing in the sense that it has been, as Darnell said, taken totally out of context, become like this personal Rorschach test, or you want to call it, or people, I'm on this Town Island serve talking about one of our former colleagues, Warren Anderson, was up there talking about the toxic masculinity. And I'm just tired of this mess. I mean, the bottom line is that let's just keep it real. This guy is still on Chris Rock after they've admitted they've had an open marriage for years. This guy's letting other men sleep with his wife, and all of a sudden he values her after a joke. And he's joked about his wife before in the past. So I just thought, one, it was the open hand slap, was like, that was a punk move. Excuse my language. And then like you said, 6'2", and what, Chris Rock's like, what, 5'9"? He didn't rap. I mean, he didn't even knock the dude down.
Yeah, he
did a little slap. And so I was just like, this is just, and then I've been cussing and don't, it was my wife. Yeah, but yet you letting all these dudes sleep with your wife. You sleep with other women, reportedly. So again, I just saw it as a disgrace. They should take away his Oscar. He should. That's the bottom. I would take away his Oscar.
That. You're not taking away. I would take.
Yes, I will. Because you
disgrace Harvey's Oscar. You ain't taking away his Oscar. We really gonna have some movement.
I would take away his Oscar.
Nah, you better take away Harvey Weinstein's Oscar first. You got a whole bunch of people in line on that one.
Well,
you better take away Harvey's Oscar.
Take away his Oscar, because
you better take away Harvey's Oscar.
He's not dignified.
That's overdoing it. Because one thing I got
it's not overdoing it. Not overdoing it. You're not worthy of. You need a 1-year suspension from the Academy or something. I mean, you'll be up there. What if Chris Rock decide? What if Chris Rock had decided to hit back? Let's say and they had a brawl.
It would have been Philly against New York. But what I was saying is,
it would have been an absolute, and it would have been a debacle. They would have to stop. You imagine if he hit back.
Well, hell, we had Hurricane in the audience. So we would have had just everybody from boxing movies up in there.
Man, if he had hit back, it would have been just. So I give Chris Rock. Chris Rock is a credit for this, that he kept his composure. He showed vulnerability, but he didn't act a fool. And Will Smith up there crying and stuff. Man, give me a break. You let men sleep with your bald wife.
Oh my!
If you watching your wife's bald. She bald. She got alopecia. She bald. She bald like this. She got to shave her head every day in the shower. She got to shave her head every day in the shower.
We not going there.
I'm gonna go there because the fact. I mean, don't give me this where you're sanctified and your marriage is so pure and wonderful. And yet you've admitted, both of y'all admitted that y'all have an open marriage, and give me a break. And what's telling?
But Hammer, even though they admit that,
what's telling is that their children have been silent. They've been very silent.
Hold it.
That speaks volumes.
Well, they haven't, because Jade came out and said something right away. But what I would say is, regardless of what they said their relationship is with it, you could still, in a moment, whatever your relationship, believe that, and how they deal with that, where they're at, is clearly they have decided what they're going to do together. And Chris knew that was a problem for him to say. Chris knew that. because Chris had been poking at the bear for like 2 or 3 years. So you go keep poking at the bear. Now, what I would have said, where you might be right, is like, you should have waited to commercial break. You should have gone backstage and done your thing. Like, there's other ways to do that, right? And that might have been a little bit different. But regardless of all the other stuff, that still don't give you the right to be clowning. And Chris knew that was something he could say to Will. He wouldn't say to nobody else.
Yeah. So my point is, will Will Smith do this if it wasn't Chris Rock? What if it was The Rock?
No, he wouldn't have done it.
What if it was The Rock up there? If The Rock
Man, he would have sat still. He would have smiled, but he would have just sat down. If it had been a Rock,
he would have hit him with the
First of all,
Rock
The Rock would have said that like that. The Rock would have said Steve Harvey. You could probably put Steve Harvey up there. Maybe Steve Harvey, right? The Rock wouldn't have said nothing like that.
Yeah,
Everybody keeps saying with The Rock, but Rock's not the kind of person that would say something like that. So don't even put The Rock up there.
You don't know.
Rock wouldn't have said nothing crazy like that.
No, the point of that is the size difference there though.
Yeah.
Chris Rock is a little dude. I mean,
yeah, but I don't think Will was thinking about that with Chris Rock. Chris Rock was like, this fool be testing me every time we get out here. Like, that's probably what he was thinking. Like, this cat just think he can test me wherever I'm at. I'm just tired of it. That's what I think it was, because it's happened over and over again. He's like, man, this cat just can't let the moment go. I'm here, and he always got to find a way. No, we're not gonna have that. Like, I don't think other cats have done that with Will. And so I don't.
You'll slap the dude too. You'll slap.
I'm not condoning
the best way to do it, because if you slap somebody, that's disrespect. Like, that's a totally different type of disrespect. He's like, you don't even deserve my fist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna treat you like you're a woman. Like, I'm gonna slap. I'm not
condoning the violence. I'm not condoning the violence at all. You know, he could have yelled from the seat.
Ain't really that violent, man. I mean, dude, it was no blood, no marks, nothing.
Look, man, when you on TV with millions of people and you get that's violent. And the way that guy hit, I mean, even though it was at the tip of the fingers, like, you know, look,
he barely hit the dude, man.
Look. We can all say that when we don't get hit. But also, Chris was Pookie, so he done took some hits. So he was Pookie. He done played some roles. He done took some hits.
That was a character. Pookie died. Pookie's dead. So Pookie's dead. So Pookie's dead. So
Chris's Chronicles saying he got beat up growing up. So Chris done taken some punches. He done built up some toughness over the years. I'm not gonna take him. He got heart. He wasn't gonna let his knees go down now. He should have known to protect himself at all times. Somebody walking up on you, he should have been on the back foot. And that's the part that he been out of New York too long. He should have known. Don't nobody just walk up on you. You know, he had his hands behind his back. Like, there's some things that he got to go back to the hood and get retrained on, because that you like somebody walking up on you, like, they ain't coming to hug you. So that's the part I was a little disappointed that he wasn't prepared in ways he should have been prepared. But you know, I
thought Will come over there and be like, you apologize about my wife, and then that would have been better if he said apologize. If he apologized, that would have been a poignant moment. Then we would look like, but now we look like animals. Now we look like
now, Hammer. That right there is a great suggestion, because he could have done that.
Yeah,
he could have been like, you need to apologize now.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he would have, and it would have a poignant moment. They would go back to the seat. Then it would have been, like I said, Chris Rock been check. He would have been, but you know, hit the dude. Did they hit the dude like a little girl? Like we used to see girls hitting. We fight girls.
I'm not going.
I mean, I've seen girls hit harder.
I'm not going to get into the gender piece when I got some great fighters that I know. You know, and we're not going to have that framework on it. The fact of the matter is, he chose to do open hand because he didn't want to kill him with a closed hand. That was about enough for him to think about, right? He wasn't going to try to hit him with the closed fist. He's like, I'm going to hit him with the open hand. So he, in his mind, he said he was doing him a favor. So now it's all irrational in that moment. But I think he felt like, I'm going to hit him, but I'm not going to hit him with the closed. The closed hand.
Prosecuted. If he hit with a closed hand,
would have been a prosecution.
He would be in LA County Jail right now.
Yeah. The closed hand is a prosecution about it. But, you know, hey, these brothers are going to get together. I got somebody going to pull them together. Somebody gonna get them up and pull them together. They're gonna come together. It's gonna be someone. It's gonna be Denzel. It's gonna be a group of them. It's gonna be Al Sharpton. Somebody gonna get them together, and they're gonna have a conversation. They're
That's the
gonna
last
be
thing
on,
Al need to be doing, man.
huh?
Our voting rights are in trouble, and he up there doing the summit, the summit with the Chris Rock Will Smith summit, and we got people losing their voting rights. Come on, man. We got people.
Hey.
We got people. We got people, man, starving. Come on, in the middle of a pandemic, we got record inflation. Come on, man. You got gas. You got people around Chicago lining up 5 hours for gas, $50 worth of free gas. Man, come on. I mean, Al got better things to do, man. Al got to save our voting rights, man.
I understand that, but we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
I mean, lynching just became a federal lynching just became a federal crime. Yesterday, today.
We understand, but those things existed before the Oscars. We can't blame this on that.
I agree.
So
but
we,
serious.
I'm not gonna put this up. Whatever they decide to do this up against those things that were existing before, during, and will be after. We still got to work on it. So we can walk down. We do a lot of stuff. We still watch tournaments. So we still watch March Madness. We still do a lot of things as though these things are going on. Well, hey y'all, hey, it's unfortunate. We talked about it. We just gonna keep it moving. And folks will handle themselves at some point. Both these brothers have contributed.
I mean, Jay just need to get weave. Get weave.
I'm not gonna get weave. Look, man, this is not a space where we got to worry about that. She has a right to do whatever she wants to do.
I ain't getting weave, but get weave. If you that concerned, you rich.
But Hammer, she has a right to do it any way she wants to do it.
I agree, but like I said,
so that shouldn't be the issue. And there could be a joke, but I do think Chris knew what he was doing, and Chris had already been poking the bear, and Chris felt like, I believe deep down he felt like, he ain't gonna do nothing. Like he felt like I'm gonna continue to push this. And
because he was going to get an Oscar. That's why he thought too that he ain't gonna hit me when he get an Oscar. That's gonna totally overshadow.
But he obviously been poking at him over time in ways that's been disproportionate.
You can't be as sensitive, dog. You can't be as sensitive, man.
You can say that. It's easy for us to say that when we.
People been talking about his marriage, like I said, like people been talking about his marriage, like it's a dog. Talking about him, there's been much worse stuff about him than Jada being got alopecia. She bald. Come on, man.
But all those things I said on air.
Like Darnell said, hold on. He knew he'd get away with it. Chris Rock.
But Hammer, half that stuff is said in spaces where you don't really care anyway. You ain't
it was Pete Davidson or something like that, man. He would have done nothing.
He would have knocked Pete out. I'm convinced he would have knocked Pete out. Now they might react differently to him. He might have hit Pete with a closed fist. They might react differently to him. He might not have been able to sit back in his seat, but he would have knocked Pete out. I'm convinced.
Pete would have been started running. First of all,
Pete would have run.
Yeah,
so it would have been a different kind of thing. He would have known to protect himself at all times. Yeah. I still don't know what Chris was doing. Like I still like.
Chris was in shock. You tell he thought he was in shock.
His sense of awareness wasn't there. His Brooklyn card might get taken.
He's like the dude's
coming on stage. Brooklyn card might be taken. Now, Hammer, if you was up on stage and somebody's walking towards you,
I would have been. I've been moving back. Shoot, I've been moving back.
I've been asked, so what we gonna do? Are we gonna do this on national television?
I wouldn't know.
I would have been like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do this on national television, or let me announce this award, and then you and I can go backstage. Because I got a job to do here. But then you and I can go backstage if that's what you feel.
And we're going to jail. No,
but Chris wasn't there. Chris done been in Hollywood too long. I don't know what it was. Come on. Yeah, Now what I am worried about is what's happening with comedians after this. Because people might, how people get.
Chris, his tickets in Chicago sold out now.
Oh yeah, he gonna have something to say. He don't rewrote his open.
Yeah. No, he making money.
Chris gonna make money off of this, and he is so self-defecating in terms of stuff. He ain't afraid to say I should have done. Like he gonna have some stuff that's gonna have people in tears in ways that this. But he also he's got a mic in his hand.
Jada need a weave. That's what he's gonna say. Jada needs a weave. That's what he's gonna say.
But I ain't getting that. I'm like, sisters, wear your hair any way you want to.
I agree.
And watch what you say, y'all, because somebody might roll up on you. So it's both ways. We knew in these streets, don't think, Hollywood ain't Hollywood, Hollywood no different than what you're gonna find in the barbershop. Sometimes you get smacked in the barbershop, you say the wrong thing. So
not in my hood. They ain't slapping in what hood you they
hey man,
shooting.
I
They shooting, man. Nobody
I've seen them
fighting
do it
now.
on the court. I've seen them do it on the court.
Man,
I've seen
what
them
was
do it a
this?
lot of places they do.
1980? Was it
You act a
1988?
fool.
They ain't doing that now. You get an argument with a barbershop. There ain't nobody gonna be fighting, man. Shoot.
You might have to break up. You have to break up somebody. All right, y'all. Let's enough of that. We have said what we're gonna say about this. We're gonna let it go.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna let it go because we've done all we do. We're gonna hit there, drop the mic, and bring it on home. All right, we'll go Hammer. Then we'll go to the youngin, and then I'll bring it home.
Well, I like to give a shout out to Shanine Holloway, next coach of St. John's, for putting on a coaching clinic for 3 games, getting to Elite Eight with St. Peter's. St. Peter's is one of the worst jobs in the country as far as resources. They showed a picture of Cameron Indoor Stadium compared to where they play. And man, it was like rich and the poor. They couldn't afford a R. So the bottom line was that, man, that brother show, he put on a special show, beating Kentucky, beating Murray State, beating Purdue. You give the brother credit. And like I said, it's on to the next now with St. John, with Seton Hall, and keep it on the Seton Hall brilliance. And so, Shanine Hall, especially somebody who went through ups and downs. This is a guy who McDonald's All-American was supposed to be a star in the NBA, and it didn't work out that way. But instead of, you have different paths in life. Instead of drowning in woe is me, and getting, like a lot of people, get involved with substance abuse, and end up with 15 toxins in your system, and off the scene like that. Basically, this guy said, I'm gonna be a coach. I'm gonna learn young men, teach young men. I'm gonna turn St. Peter's into a respectable place. And that's what he did. I give him credit. And so, St. Peter's gonna miss him, but Shanine Holloway, you, instead of Will Smith and Chris Rock with their mess, you are truly representing what Black men should be doing, who are, again, even keel, strategic, grace on stage. Even in the loss, they got blown out. Just, again, hug the guys, console the guys. Talked about a class act, unlike Will Smith, a bum from West Philly, who happened to have an Oscar, and Chris Rock, wherever he's from, he's from Harlem, right? Wherever he's from, clowning and embarrassing us as Black men. Drop the mic.
Well, now, for my drop the mic, I want to talk about standing on your principles. I want to talk about we brought up something a little earlier. He said about toxic masculinity. Just that, no, I'm gonna throw it away. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there today. My drop to mic is gonna be about boxing. It's heating up. The game's starting to heat up. We got the Devin Haney versus Cambosos is about to be finalized, about to be signed. That's great. We got Errol Spence. I'm gonna keep reminding y'all almost every week. Errol Spence. I'm gonna do Errol Spence and Ugas. I'm gonna do some promotion on behalf of some of these promotional companies, because sometimes we don't hear about fights until like 2 weeks before the fight. But yeah, we got Errol Spence versus Ugas coming up. We got Stevenson versus Valdez on April 30th. The same day, we have Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano is one of my favorite female boxers in the game. I mean, she has a complete skill set, and on top of that, she's going against Katie Taylor, one of the top names in women's boxing. It's gonna be a spectacle. You know, and on the same day, we're getting Shakur versus Valdez. It's gonna be a great day for boxing. Then the next month we have Charlo versus Castano. There'll be another undisputed fight coming up. So we have a lot of things getting done. I know we always talk about the fights in this stage of boxing. Fights aren't being made. The guys aren't fighting each other, but things are starting to fall into place, and we gotta acknowledge it when it's happening. So excited to see what's going to happen in this next stretch for the sport of boxing. This is Darnell. Drop the mic.
All right. All the stuff we talked about, I wanted to just throw a shout out. As one of the things I said is that, what was great about what happened, and like many, I normally don't watch these shows, but something told me. I had a discussion Saturday night, and I said, let me watch. But the thing that was really the bright spot, because it was something I had a chance to watch, was just to see, Amir Questlove Thompson, from the Roots, win for his documentary, Summer of Soul, which was really an account of the 1969 Harlem Cultural Festival, which lasted 6 weeks, and just the acts that were part of it, and a part of history that many of us didn't have a chance to know and understand. And like to see that, he was rewarded for this important work as well, and the kind of to see the joy that was in his face in this moment, in the wake of everything we have. It tells you about just kind of your ability to just kind of chip away and stay in it, and to continue to work and do the things that you love and be creative in the space you want to be creative in, and the payoff that can happen in that space. And someone like that's creative. Just, it's exciting to see like a platform like this and where it will take him, and the kinds of things he can do to influence the larger culture. And so these are moments that I just want to make sure I stand up, even in all the things that we've talked about. And we see these kind of moments happening, every day, that we just have to appreciate. And so I don't want it to get lost in a lot of this ways that we can overanalyze things and intellectualize things in ways that allow for us not to really see some of the essence and some of the true things that are actually happening in front of our eyes that we don't necessarily appreciate. So I just want to lift up Questlove's voice and his impact on the culture and the different ways that he's stretching himself to continue to bring us really good and important content in all the work that he's doing. So this is D. Wills for my man, the Hammer, for the youngin'. Thank y'all for being here on RSG One Mic and sharing this evening with us. Please check us out at Real Sports Guys, and check out the content, support us. We love y'all. Thank y'all for being with us. Until next time, peace.
See, something we all understand: the revolution will be televised.
Yes, today, as we start to show this one mic. Yes, today, as we start to show this one mic.
The Chi-Town Hammers. Chi-Town Hammers.
Something.
People have slept on. I only get political here, but I will.
He's playing the game. That's all it is. Go hard for it. It's business.
Yes, today, as we start to show this one mic.